What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Afan, and today we'll be doing a review slash breakdown slash discussion of this show called The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. We're in season 1, episode 7, which is called The Eye. I've just finished watching it, by the way. I'm doing this intro at the end of me watching the episode, which means there will be a reaction to the actual episode on the channel as well. So if you're interested in that, there should be a video to that on the channel. Link to that should be in the description down below, as well as a reaction to the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. Anyways, let's jump into the breakdown of this episode. Let's start from the beginning. So we start off with the eye. Oh, the eye, right? And we open with the eye of not Sauron, but Galadriel instead. There's a lot of destruction. People are dying left, right, and center. And then we see Isildur and his friends are stuck under the thing, and they're trying to pull them out. And they do it so successfully, except the thing falls. Isildur is crushed under it, or so we're told, that he's dead now. I don't personally believe that he is dead, but that is what they are telling us. I think that's one of those fake outs. But I might be wrong. I'm not entirely sure about that one. Actually, I'm entirely sure that I'm entirely correct in presuming that he's still alive, and that's because I know the future. But there's another thing to keep in mind. Maybe this is not the same as Isildur. I mean, if you guys who have read the book, you'll know that he is Elendil's son. I don't know that. I don't know that Elendil had another son that was called Isildur or something. Do you know what I mean? Like one that died, and then there was another one after him, and that's the one that became the Isildur, the one that we see in the opening of Fellowship of the Apples, the Ring. So there's that. Galadriel blames herself for pretty much everything that happened to the Southlands, including the fact that the Southlands are no longer Southlands. They are now indeed Mordor. And Elendil is very much blaming that on Galadriel as well, and it's so sad to think about, honestly, because Elendil and Isildur had such a sweet moment, a heart-to-heart in the last episode. They've been bickering, arguing this whole time, and finally they sort of see eye to eye. They sort of understand each other, and very next episode, gone, done, or so Elendil thinks. The queen loses her sight in that little accident there as well, which is quite ironic, considering that, much like her father, she have now bad vision as well. But the both of them have visions, and they are bad, the visions that they do have, because the visions that they do have are of the fall of Numenor. So it's kind of weird. They cannot see, but they are the only ones who can actually see. We found out that Galadriel was married, and her husband died in this one, which I'm not entirely sure about, because in the trilogy we do see Galadriel with another man, which I don't remember the name of that guy, but I thought it was the same guy, Calibran or something. I think I remember that name. I think it's the same dude. It might not be. The names are very similar. Celebrimbor, Celebrum, So it might have been entirely a different person, but I'm not sure. It might be one of those things where she thinks he's dead, just like Isildur, but he's not actually dead, just like Isildur. Oh, I'm going to be so mad when he's actually dead in the next episode, or the one after that, or whichever episode they reveal it in finally. And she also mentions to Theo that she lost her brother as well. We meet the Harfeet in this one once again. They're baiting us so hard. They're baiting us hard with Gandalf. That dude, I swear, if he's not Gandalf, I'm going to be so mad. He's pulling the carts, and they show him like looking all cute and shit. Just like Gandalf when he enters the picture, he's in the cart and Frodo's running alongside him, and you're like, I see what you're doing there, show. Oh, you think I don't see? You think I'm Miriel? Too soon? Anyways, I'm fairly certain now that he is Gandalf, which I don't know if I'm happy about or sad, because I'm happy to see him, but I also wanted to see a new character, do you know what I mean? A new wizard, because I know there are multiple other wizards as well. I'd like to see another one, like not Radagast, because we know Radagast as well, or maybe even Radagast, because we don't know enough about Radagast. So I'll take him too. But like I said, I'm happy to see Gandalf, because that's our guy. The gray or the blue or the white or whatever, I'll take any of them. Although he does become the white fairly later on. So then they send him away. Those three weirdos are following him. They seem to have magic. They take the fire and burn all their apples. They just got them from the stranger and now they burn all their apples. Yeah, bastards. Don't tell Alicent about it. I'm gonna lose her mind. She finds out you're 3 are bastards. Anyways, so yeah, then they decide that they're gonna build a fellowship of the apples and they're gonna go after the stranger and they're gonna help him. And this time, these 3 people are after him, and so they think that he's in danger, and somehow they're going to be able to help with that. I suppose they think that if they inform him, then he'll be ready for it. And so that will help. Obviously, they're not much help in the fight against them because we saw they have magic very similar to the stranger. So they're not going to be able to do anything. They cannot slay dragons, as they said themselves. But we do know they can steal treasure right under the dragon, though. Durin and Elrond, whenever they interact, I absolutely love it. I adore their friendship. I love the banter between them. I love the passion, the affection they have for each other. And we really saw that for the first time, I think, more so than before in this one. The affection that Durin has for Elrond, him pleading to his father and crying in that moment as well. He cannot let him go. He has to help. He has to try to help. And the father then refuses. What does he know? What does the Dwarven King know that we do not know? He knows something. I think it might be the Balrog that we see at the end. He throws the petal in there and somehow it finds its way through all the crevices and holes and all that and goes all the way to the bottom and burns, and that's because Balrog is right there. Balrog looked exactly like he looked in there in the trilogy. Reaction to which is available on my channel, by the way, as well as this episode. Link should be in the description. Durin, being Durin, too stubborn, decides to go ahead anyways after he sees the effect that Mithril has on the plague or whatever is going on with that petal. And so they discover Mithril, and that's when the father discovers them discovering Mithril, and that's when it all goes downhill. Just before that scene, he says it's the highest honor or something along those lines for a dwarf to be worthy of his father's name, and he has his father's name, and then he loses it all. Gone. Takes the crest away, and when he picks it back up, he's like, nope, that does not belong to you anymore. So I was correct. He has disinherited him, and that must hurt. Then there's a little bit of plotting going on between Disa and Durin there at the end. Has a game begun? A Game of Thrones? I don't know. If it has, I'm here for it. You know me, I love me some Game of Thrones. The Númenóreans, or the Queen at least, promises that she will be back. Galadriel promises that the elves will help, which I was like, will they? I don't know if they're in a good shape to help. And second, the king told you not to forget about this whole ordeal. So I don't know if he'll help. Similarly, I actually don't know if Númenor will help. I'm very certain that Miriel, the queen, will help, but now she is very similar to her father. In other words, very weak, and they're having to hide their father from the people, not let them know his condition. Now, I presume that she'll have to do the same for herself, and therefore someone else will have to then appear in front of the people. Will it be that Charizard dude Farzard or Farzan or whatever? I forgot his name. The dude with the beard, man. How is that guy not a dwarf? Amazing hair and beard. Could be, who knows? He's kind of been playing a game of his own there as well for the throne. So he might pounce on that opportunity that's been provided to him right there. As the people already, including Elendil, are kind of against helping the elves or allowing the elves on their shores. So that was already a problem. They took their job, remember that? Yeah. So they're definitely going to have a problem now, seeing all the destruction and everything they caused, and it led to nothing. They still were not victorious in what they wanted to do. Mordor has been created. A shadow looms over the Southlands. All the Orcsises are chanting, Adar, Adar, Adar. He smiles as well, looking at Mount Doom. He believes Sauron is dead. We know he's not dead. I had a theory that Hellbrand might be Sauron. I think a lot of people did, and they're messing with us there. They're baiting us hard there as well with Sauron and Hellbrand. The fact that he's so good at forging steel, the fact that he's talking in a way to Galadriel in the prison about creating a solution and, for the people, and then giving them that solution and then controlling that solution yourself, and by extension then controlling the people. That's right here. That sounds like this to me. right here, not my fingers, the rings. The fact that he remembers Adar. Adar said, I have killed Sauron, so they have faced off. Adar does not remember him. Now, I remember one comment saying that Sauron has the ability to change his appearance. Maybe that's why Adar doesn't remember him, but Sauron remembers Adar because they have confronted each other before. I don't know, but it seems like he might be the king, the rightful king, or he might be Sauron. If he is the king, then I'm fairly sure he will be corrupted because us men are easily corrupted. As you can see, I've got all 3 of the rings on. And he's probably going to be turned into one of the Nazguls. Potentially the Witch King. I keep calling him Night King, man. That's from Game of Thrones. But yeah, that's my little theory there. Thierry Henry. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts were on this episode in general. I hope you enjoyed watching this breakdown of this episode. I do have a reaction to the actual episode, which should be on the channel. I'll link to that in the description down below. And I do have a reaction to the original Lord of the Rings trilogy as well. Links to those will be in the description down below as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, have a nice